You know, this video is actually inspired by Marie Kondo, tidying up. And I love what when she was talking about decluttering your space. I find what's interesting is that when your physical space is cluttered, it's actually a reflection of the clutter inside you. Diba? And so she talks about how to declutter your physical space, and I love how she compartmentalized everything. I want to talk about decluttering the inside, because this is something that I notice with a lot of people. That clutter inside your brain is actually affecting everything in your life. So what are the things that clutters your head? Anxiety, worries, thoughts that are just going on and on and on, all this baggage, this mental clutter, this mental baggage. And how do you declutter all that mental baggage? One way to declutter your mind, or an effective way of decluttering your mind, is to commit it to paper and to write it down. So, what do you do? For example, anxiety. What are the things that make you anxious? All the to-do lists, all the things you have to do tomorrow, the next day, the next month, your schedule, who are the people you have to meet, what are the things that you have to accomplish. One way to declutter that is actually to write it down, because once you write it down, you take it out of your mind. If you write down all the things you have to do for the day, for the week, for the month, suddenly it's out of your mind and it's decluttered. The other thing you do is when you write down all your appointments and schedules, you've now decluttered your mind of all the things you're anxious about, and you have to remind yourself about by committing it to paper. So that's such an important thing, committing it to paper. Worries. When there's a lot of things that you're worried about, if you keep it in your mind, it stays as a worry. It stays as a problem. The solution never really happens when it's just in your mind. Commit it to paper, write it down, and when you do that, you're decluttering your mind of the worry and then writing down the problem and then coming up with a solution. Compartmentalizing it one problem with one solution at a time. Not only that, sometimes you have a lot of emotional baggage as well. A lot of things that are affecting you emotionally, a lot of feelings that you have about certain situations, people, whether it's hate, it's anger, whatever it may be. Write it down. That is how you declutter your heart and your mind, is by writing it down. You can also talk to people about it, but remember, when you declutter, you talk to them with the purpose of letting it out, not just the purpose of ranting over and over and over again. That doesn't help much. You must speak with the purpose or the objective of decluttering your mind and your heart. So what I like about writing down your thoughts, the things that bother you, the emotions, the feelings, whether it's baggage from an ex, from a feud that you have with either family or your friends, is that you've committed it on paper and you've actually let it go from there. And once it's on paper, you let it go. Could be a blog, a private blog. I mean, if you want to make it public, it could be scandalous, so better to keep it private. A diary, yeah, a diary, whether it's a journal, whatever it may be. Just put it out there and keep it out there. So once you're able to commit it to your diary, your journal, your business plan, whatever it may be, your planner, your schedule, once you've been able to do that, you now effectively have been able to declutter your mind and your heart of all the baggage that you carry with you. And that sparks joy.